Hello everyone, it's Lisa here. I just want to show you this emotional first aid kit that I've created for sensitives. It's energy, hygiene and nervous system regulation for when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed and anxious. So it's £44 and it says, "Hi, I'm Lisa and I'm a wild heart and a highly sensitive person, and for 20 years I've been healing from complex childhood trauma, CPTSD that's called, and I was determined to find something to ease my emotional pain, so I went to therapy and I still go. I also read all the books and attended all the courses, lectures and workshops, and I'm still learning because I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm also a survivor because I've been through some dark times. So that means I can sit with you in yours and help you navigate them. And what would have been helpful is if someone could have shown me their cliff notes, like their cheat sheets, especially the easy and practical ways to soothe and regulate my frazzled nervous system. And there's lots of different ways that your nervous system is frazzled. We can go into like a shutdown. We can go into a flight response, which is like having a really busy brain. I was checking everything. Let me show you some of the things that were happening for me and see if you can relate to them. But really inside the kit are my favourite or easy go-to tools. And so what's taken me 20 years to learn, you can read in a couple of hours. Made it easy for you. So I didn't have any idea that I was burnt out. I was living in survival mode from childhood, so most of my life. And I didn't even realise that I was a highly sensitive person. So I was fueling myself on wine, coffee and cigarettes. And by the end of the week, I'd just be exhausted and collapse on the sofa. But that was until I discovered that my nervous system needed a different type of self-care. And it ended up taking me a long time and a lot of patience. So I'd like to save you the bother, really. And these are the things that I do. So I can dissociate, which is checking out or numbing out when life gets overwhelming. And that's a common coping strategy from growing up in chaos and dysfunction. Children can't leave their family homes, so they leave their bodies and stay in the room. It's clever that, isn't it? But that becomes maladaptive and unhelpful when you're an adult. Like I can scroll on screens and I can shut down when I'm in a high conflict situation with someone and I get overwhelmed. So I would spend hours in my head fighting all the unwanted anxious thoughts, which were relentless. So that's a sign that your nervous system is activated. Your inner critic is out, your mean girl voice is out, and you can't switch that off. You're like a hamster on a wheel. I was completely out of touch with my body. I ignored all its warning signs. So my body was trying to communicate with me and tell me that things weren't right, and I didn't listen. I smiled and I keep calm and carry on, true Brit. And my coping strategy was to keep myself busy until eventually my body couldn't hold on any longer. So I'd go from being really busy to just lying on the sofa for days doing nothing. And then I started to get tummy ache and chest pains and hip pain and foot pain I got as well, because my body was screaming at me to listen. So when we suppress all our feelings and we don't process them properly and deal with them, they start to manifest in our physical body because we can't carry them anymore. I'd burst into tears at the slightest thing and I was hypervigilant. So this is when the checking came in. I had this fear that when I left the house, I'd burn it down. So I checked that I hadn't left the candle burning and I checked that I'd locked the door. But I do that quite a few times. So that's another sign that I was triggered. I had really bad anxiety and I started to have emotional flashbacks. So emotional flashbacks are when they don't have a visual component like you see in the movies. You just experience all the feelings that you experienced when you were a kid. So let's say it gets to 6 o'clock in the evening, present day, but when I was a kid at 6 o'clock in the evening, it would all kick off in my house because, that's the witching hour in most houses and kids are tired and cranky and it's bath time and it can be chaotic. So at 6 o'clock in the present day, I don't have any memories of that in my mind, but my body's remembering it. So it starts to get anxious or whatever I used to feel as a kid. It thinks that the past is happening in the present. And that's a massive symptom of CPTSD. and it's quite debilitating. So what you're going to get inside this toolkit is exactly what you need when you're overwhelmed, anxious and stressed. There's 20 practical techniques for regulating your nervous system. It's very pretty as well, because I like to make these things. It's my favourite thing to do, actually. I think I like creating materials, training materials and support documents. That I think that stems back from my days when I worked for British Gas, and I used to be a PowerPoint slide monkey and make lots of PowerPoint presentations for the board. So all of these techniques are quick, easy and fun, because honestly, the simple stuff is the best and most effective, because when you're triggered, you don't have the brain capacity for anything else, really. And they're all tried and tested by me. I've taught them to clients, adults and kids, so that you can feel more in control of what's happening in your body. And there's even ones in there for you if you don't or can't meditate. So, because I'm a busy doer and I don't sit still, it's really hard for me to find that space to be at peace in my body, although I'm getting better at that. And then you'll also get my energy hygiene routine for taking care of your highly sensitive temperament. So I'm sharing with you a daily practice to cleanse, ground and protect your energy. They don't take long, and you just weave them into your routine, like putting your makeup on and cleaning your teeth, and they help manage and reduce stress. And if I forget to do them, I really notice the difference. So that's what we call preventative maintenance. And then I also answer these 6 questions, which I get asked all the time. How do I know if I'm triggered? How do I know which techniques to use? How do I feel my feelings? How do I deal with my anger? It's not working. Help. What am I doing wrong? And why can't I remember to do the techniques when I'm triggered? And then I also share with you my story coming out of survival mode. So I'm giving you, raw and unfiltered story of what it's like to be living with CPTSD, and how painful, it's emotionally painful and exhausting when you don't know how to manage it. So I'll talk about what helped me the most and what made it worse and that I kept ignoring. How to stay motivated and positive when you feel like giving up, because at times you do feel like giving up. You're like, oh crap, it's happening again. It feels like a force that takes over your body. But with awareness of when that's happening, you can then calm yourself down and create. Over time, you expand your window of tolerance, so you're able to sit with more pain, and then life becomes a bit calmer. I'll tell you where I got stuck, and I'll tell you what the signs are that you're healing and what life is like on the other side of survival mode. And so some people have bought it already and they have lovely things to say about it. They're saying that this lady here is saying that the tools helped her come out of freeze mode. And also this other person is saying that they enjoyed reading my story, because we don't get to hear about those parts of healing much, which we don't. And that's why I'm sharing it, because a tape that plays on your head when you've got childhood trauma is, oh my God, what's wrong with me? And so all these things are happening in your body and you haven't got any language to describe them. And so hopefully this kit will help you with that. So if you want to take control of your life and start listening to your body today, got 44 pages of lived experience, no therapeutic jargon, just talking to you like I am now. Understanding your highly sensitive temperament and what it needs to thrive, the practical techniques for calming anxiety, frustration and panic, soothing all of your feelings instead of resorting to unhelpful coping strategies like comfort eating, scrolling on your phone, drinking wine, shopping, I don't know what else, what's your go-to. Protect yourself from stress and all the negative impacts it has on your health. And it does have negative impacts on your health. If we don't learn how to be with and understand our emotional selves, we will get sick. And that stress has a massive impact on our immune systems. And it takes longer for us to recover from things. It weakens our nervous system. And then you can also read my story raw and unfiltered with all the fuck ups, so you don't have to. You're welcome. So there it is. You can buy that today. I shall pop the link in for you. And it's actually on the homepage of my website at the moment, because it's a new product that I've launched. I hope that's helpful for you. Take care of you. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.